This is my version of Inanna's descent to the underworld, my solstice gift to everyone. This is Inanna. 5,000 years ago, she was the queen of Sumner in Mesopotamia. She was also a goddess. She ruled fertility and the harvest, love and war, and all of heaven and earth. So pretty much she ruled everything. Everything that is except the underworld. That job belonged to her sister Erishkigal. The living could not enter the underworld, and so Inanna could not visit, and this began to trouble her deeply. She prided herself on her wisdom, and yet how could she be wise when she had no awareness of the underworld and the dark side of things? How could she truly be a goddess? At last she decided she must go. She asked advice from her father and grandfather, and they told her she was crazy. It was a stupid and foolhardy idea, but her heart told her she must go, and so she prepares to go on her journey. She puts on the elements that will protect her: a cloak, a breastplate, a crown for power, her lapis lazuli beads for wisdom, and she takes a staff for guidance. Even a goddess needs a loyal friend and servant, so she takes along Ninchabar. They travel for many days together, and at last they reach the gate of the underworld. At the gate, Inanna tells Ninchabar that she must wait for 3 days and nights, and if Inanna does not return, Ninchabar must go for help. Then Inanna calls out to her sister. Nettie, the gatekeeper, runs to tell Erishkigal that Inanna is at the gates and wants to come in. Erishkigal flies into a rage. She can't believe Inanna would come here. Inanna has everything, all of heaven and earth. How dare she come to Erishkigal's domain? Erishkigal tells Nettie to let her in 1 gate at a time, and at each gate Inanna must surrender something of herself. Nettie allows Inanna to pass through the first gate, and he removes her crown. Inanna asks why he's doing this, and he says, "No questions. This is the way of the underworld." Each time she passes a gate, Nettie takes another piece of her personal identity: her crown, her cloak, her necklace, her staff. And then Inanna gets to the 7th gate, and she sees Erishkigal on her throne. Before Inanna can speak, Erishkigal strikes her dead. And then she hangs her body on a hook. Hey, it's not the way I would have written this story. I'm just retelling it. Meanwhile, back at the gate, Ninchabar has kept her vigil, chanting, praying, and drumming, and after 3 nights she runs to get help. Going first to Inanna's father and grandfather, she begs them to help, but they're angry, and they say that Inanna deserved what she got. Then Ninchabar goes to Enki. He's Inanna's maternal grandfather, and he understands Inanna's motivation for going to the underworld. He creates 2 magical creatures, the Jurgara and the Galatur, and sends Ninchabar back with them. When they arrive at the underworld, Erishkigal appears to be in pain, possibly because she's just killed off her sister, and they begin to moan with her empathetically. Erishkigal doesn't have many friends, and so she's moved by their empathy. She offers them any gift that they choose, and they say that they'll take the corpse hanging on the hook. They take down the body, and they give Inanna the bread and water of life, and she wakes up. But she can only leave the underworld if she finds someone to replace her. The guardians of the underworld see Ninchabar, and they want to take her, but Inanna says, "No, this is my trusted friend and servant who helped save my life." They see her sons and want to take them, and again she says no. But as they return to Inanna's kingdom, she sees that her husband Dumuzi is sitting on her throne, and he's been partying for 3 days and 3 nights, apparently not caring that Inanna had disappeared. She tells the guardians to take Dumuzi, but his sister intervenes and says she will share the underworld with Dumuzi. So Dumuzi goes for half a year making winter, and his sister goes the other half making summer. Inanna returns to her place as goddess of heaven and earth, but humbled and wiser for having confronted her sister and the dark side. And at the very simple level, the tale explains summer and winter, but it is much deeper than that. Joseph Campbell feels the tale is about confronting our own dark sides. Inanna and Erishkigal are really part of the same being. Inanna is the side we might present to the world, confident, attractive, appropriate. Erishkigal is the other side of all those things. So all of us need to look at our dark side so we can be complete human beings. The moral of the tale seems to be that when you're taking a quest or spiritual journey, always have support. Ideally, you'd have a magical grandfather who could create magical creatures that would bring you back to life. But short of that, Just choose your support wisely. Family members? Maybe, maybe not. To me, it can be summed up in this way: when taking any quest, spiritual or otherwise, always know the very small group of people you would trust to fold your parachute. Happy solstice, everyone, from me and Dinah.